years. It is, in fact, a birthday party, not for just one, but for 6 sparkling young ladies and their distinguished guests. And it is our privilege to be here tonight to witness for the first time those celebrations. By the way, these young ladies are 2 years old. The stars of the party are Kate, Hannah, Lucy, Jenny, Ruth and Sarah Walton. The 104,857 million-to-1 chance that became the only all-girl sextuplets alive in the world today. They're also 6 of the most lovable little girls you're ever likely to see. To Janet and Graham Walton, their 6 little bundles were a real miracle. They'd been desperate to start a family, and after 6 years of marriage had even started adoption proceedings. Then, after a long course of fertility drugs, Janet finally conceived. And 32 weeks later, a team of doctors and 14 midwives safely delivered the rarest family on earth. And it all took place in Liverpool. 6 weeks after the birth, the first 2 babies were allowed to go home. As Jenny and Kate were handed over, they now weighed 6 pounds 6 and 5 pounds 9 ounces respectively, their parents felt more than a touch of apprehension about what the future was to bring.
Thanks a lot.
See you.
All
the best. Yeah, well, look back tomorrow. See the others.
Ta-da. Thanks a lot.
Janet and Graham were entering a different world. The problems that face every new parent were about to be compounded 6 times over. How to adjust to a new family, how to care for them and feed them. But the first problem of all was where to put them. Home was a 2-bedroom terraced house in Wallasey. There was room enough to swing a cat, but not all the bottles, shawls, toys, blankets, baby milk and teddies that soon filled the house.
I think we've got about enough nappies for 2 weeks, with 6. Enough bottles for 2 weeks, which is 280. And I think we'll just have to, well, we haven't got enough room in the house to get any more stuff in to begin with, so we'll just have to buy as we go along.
The house was like an assembly line, a constant round of sleeping, eating and nappy changing. The babies were getting bigger and more demanding by the hour, drinking gallons of milk between them. Their consumption of nappies had already run into thousands, and for Janet and Graham, this was just the beginning. Life would never be the same again. Graham Walton used to be a successful painter and decorator. He was now learning new skills for a new job, that of full-time dad. Luckily, for the first few months, the local authority provided nurses 2 at a time, which at least gave the parents a little sleep.
Come on, bring it up for me. Show me what you made of.
The babies turned the parents out of their own bedroom. Mum and Dad slept in the spare room, with no wardrobes to hang their clothes. The whole house was turned over to the newcomers, and as the babies grew bigger, the house grew smaller and smaller. In the nick of time, they moved. With a little help from newspapers and television, Janet and Graham could now afford to buy a nice new 4-bedroomed house in the Wirral. It wasn't ideal, the rooms weren't huge, and the rest of the estate was still just a building site, but the builders had given them a discount in exchange for the honour of giving the Waltons a new roof over their heads. Most important of all, it was home. The 6 hungry mouths settled in. The daily round continued as before. For the parents, it was business as usual. Ahead lay the months of growing, teething, crawling, and finally walking.
Never let another girl like you work me over. Never let another girl like you drag me under. If I meet another girl like you, I will tell her. Never want another girl like you. Have to say, oh, nothing gonna break my stride. Nobody gonna slow me down. Oh,
now there are two. There's Ruth with Hannah behind. This is Jenny. And Kate. And there's Lucy standing at the back. Here's Sarah looking wistful. And here's Mum preparing yet another meal.
Children wake up any time from 6 really, but we usually try to leave it till about 7:45 before we go in. There's 3 in each room, so they keep themselves amused for a while really. And then we change them when they get up, and usually I finish off the last 2 or 3 and Gray comes down and makes the breakfast.
So Graham's day starts a bit later, does it?
Not really, no. I change a couple of nappies and then come down and get the toast on. I'm magic at toast, you know. Big pile of toast. Great at that. You've got some.
In the Waltons' home, the washing machine never seems to stop. As every parent knows, even the cutest little girls get dirty. And it's not surprising that the girls need so many changes of clothing when you watch them have their meal. You never know where the spaghetti is going to land next.
Give me dinner.
Lovely. Oh, that's lovely.
What the girls lack in table manners, they certainly make up for in enthusiasm, and what doesn't go down can always be washed off.
You finished that? All right, that's all right.
Anna's drink, Jenny, Kate, Lucy, Ruth, and Sarah.
Everything in the Waltons' household happens in 6s. 6 of these, 6 of those, 6 of everything. And despite what you might expect, the house is remarkably well organised, with everything in its proper place. Having a crafty look round, it's a very, very clean and tidy house. I mean, there's no sign at all of 60 tiny fingers.
Well, the lounge we keep pretty much to ourselves. I mean, the girls are allowed in here, but it would just be bedlam if we let all 6 in at once. So if 2 are awake at a time, they come in. Bit of a treat for them to come in here, really.
2's the limit, though, you know.
Well, you've got, what, 4 bedrooms here, and you've turned the garage into a playroom. Is it big enough, though?
No.
Not really, no. Not when obviously, they're getting to a stage now where they'll have things like bikes and little cars and what have you, and really, there's not enough space.
So what would you want, ideally?
We'd want probably a house with the same number of rooms, but an older house where the rooms are much bigger.
Shugborough Hall in Staffordshire is probably slightly larger than even the Waltons' present requirements. It does have 37 rooms and 600 acres of land. It's also not for sale. It's the ancestral home of the 4th Earl of Lichfield, cousin of the Queen. He's also known as Patrick Lichfield, photographer of royalty and the Unipart calendar.
Those railings are too high.
Today, Lord Lichfield is preparing for an important assignment. As usual, it's his speciality, pretty girls, but this time it's the fully clothed Walton variety. And already the royal photographer is apprehensive.
The age that we've got with us at the moment is just about the worst you could possibly have, because they will move and won't listen. So the problem is further compounded by the fact that there are 6. That's 12 eyes, and 12 eyes, to keep them all open or into camera at the same time, is going to take some doing. Frankly, the whole thing sounds like a nightmare at the moment.
But even Patrick Lichfield couldn't predict quite what was in store for him when the Waltons finally descended on Shugborough Hall.
See, and they've come in the main gate. Oh gosh, here we go.
When I first saw him, I thought, that's the gardener, you know, because to me he looked like the gardener, you know. He had his old clothes on and wellies and what have you, you know. And I thought, well, that's not him, you know. Must be the gardener. But it turned out to be Lord Lichfield, you know. A very nice man he is.
Good morning. Hello, I'm Patrick Lichfield. Hi.
What did you say?
Hello.
You all right?
Hello, you're fine. Here they are.
There we are, girls. Long journey.
If the little girls looked taken aback by their unfamiliar surroundings, you can imagine how Lord Lichfield felt when faced by the Walton family.
Let them just keep them happy while we work.
When we first arrived, we were ushered into the nursery to meet Nanny, and we met Lord Lichfield's 3 children, who played with the girls very well. And we were all at home there. Lord Lichfield said to Nanny, well, come on then, if you can look after 3, you can look after 9 without any trouble. And she did.
Big steps.
In that sort of way.
1.
We can push it to 8 and clip it. Wind's blowing in the right direction for their hair. And so we don't have to use any super glue. And we want some of them sitting.
Would you like to sit down?
Sit down.
Who can you trust to sit down?
That's it, Hannah, you sit there. Do you want to sit down, Ruthie?
Oh, good girl, Hannah. Sit down there. Come on, Sarah. Oh, just the right size for a little ball. Meet Nanny Nancy.
That's it. Don't move. Oi, everybody here. Who's on there?
Oh, it's all right.
Here we go. That's all right. Straight to me.
Who's Nanny?
Got it. Camera. Lucy, where's the girl?
Look at the aeroplane.
Well done, the father. Well, I've got one picture with all their eyes open. It's not going to win any awards. But it's quite obviously hopeless trying to get them all on their own because something's frightened one of them. I wouldn't be surprised if it was me. But it's better to let them have a little rest and attack it again. But I think there's one decent shot.
When we went for lunch, the table was all laid, tablecloth, knives, forks, spoons, glasses, jugs of water, salt and pepper, which we were a bit nervous of because the girls were always in the high chair, they're not used to all that kind of thing. But even there, they were as good as gold, they all sat down. We didn't quite know what to order them, but we ordered 6 dishes of baked beans and 9 rounds of toast, and they were quite at home there.
After the break, things didn't seem to go much better at first.
That's a good girl. Now you two sit down. Please sit down. That's fine.
Okay.
Yes, be a good girl and sit down. Please. Here.
Good girl.
It's over here. Everybody. That's it. Okay, hold it.
Flash bang, what a picture, what a photograph. Poor old bloke, blow me, what a joke. And blown off in a cloud of smoke, clap hands. Stamp your feet, banging on the big bass drum. What a picture, run to the up, bum, 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 bum. Stick it in your pan, hey, out, bum.
You can just grab her quick. I'm sure there's one there where all 12 eyes are open. And we've got to change your clothes, so I think the job's done.
Clap hands, stamp your feet, banging on the big bass drum. What a picture, run to the up, bum, 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 bum. Run to the up, bum, 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 bum. Run to the up, bum, 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 bum.
Yeah, they're lovely. Wow. They're gorgeous, aren't they? Absolutely magic. Fabulous pictures. Best I've ever seen. It's just captured everything. I mean, the girls just appear so naturally on it, you know. Just how they are. It's beautiful.
The Lichfield pictures were certainly very beautiful, but they were more than snaps for the family album. Lichfield had been commissioned to do the job, and the aim was to sell the photographs worldwide. It was part of a master plan to keep the Waltons afloat financially, which has been put together by 2 men. Today they might be holding the reflector screens for Lord Lichfield, but in reality they hold the key to the Waltons' financial security. They're brothers, and they're to be seen at every single Waltons event, standing quietly in the background. They've been dealing on the family's behalf since the birth. They are the Ettinger brothers. If you went to their office in Penny Lane, you'd be forgiven for thinking you'd stepped into a scene from a TV thriller. It's a room above a disused tailor's shop. Inside there are strange pictures of Wurzel Gummidge.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah. There's just one more thing, of course. You've got the picture in front of you, haven't you? Okay, you with me?
Come back to me as soon as you possibly can to confirm the final details.
You've got the picture in front of you, haven't you?
Yes, they've all got individual personalities.
Right.
It's not as sinister as it looks. Robert and Philip Ettinger are agents to the stars, and one of their stars just happens to be John Pertwee. They also look after the cricketer Clive Lloyd and Hannah, Lucy, Ruth, Jenny, Kate and Sarah Walton.
Well, their role is a help. Obviously, at the beginning, we needed someone because we didn't have time to speak to anyone ourselves, and they were more experienced in in that role. And so we've become very close friends, and usually things are done through them.
They are your agents.
They are
Oh,
our
yeah,
agents, yeah.
They use us as a buffer against the media, not the outside world. We don't need anybody to protect us from that. It's just that, particularly in the early stages, when we were getting a lot of phone calls from papers and what have you, we needed someone to deal with it, because we couldn't possibly do anything else other than what we were doing, which was seeing to the children, you know.
Before the birth, there was no courting of the press. There was no talk to the press at all. It never entered Janet and Graham's head at all. And when we discussed it before the birth took place, it was something that was totally abhorrent in actual fact, because the principal thing was the success of the birth itself and the health of all the babies. And so there was no talking at all to the press beforehand. They came flooding in upon the situation because of the manner of the news involved.
We've done several articles for newspapers, magazines.
For which you've been paid?
Oh, yes, of course. That's basically why we do it, because that's our income at the moment, because, as you know, I'm not working, so that is the only income that's coming in the house. So, in a way, we have to do that, but not too much of it. We've got to draw the line somewhere.
Because that is what everybody wants to know, how on earth you can manage when you are not working. And that's how it's done, isn't it?
That's how it's done. We're managing at the moment. I don't know how long the money we've got in the kitty will last, but at the moment we're all right.
I don't know how many nappies that families go through when they've got one child or baby to look after, but with Janet and Graham, incredibly, they go through something like 200 nappies a week. And I find it absolutely incredible that not one of the major nappy firms wanted positively to be involved with the situation or to help out in any way. We've certainly had the odd boxes here and there, I mean, that have lasted for a week. I just don't think they actually understand the quantities that are involved in the situation that they're faced with.
They were never really given anything. In terms of the house that they now live in, which they moved into in March 1984, a discount arrangement was made, but they actually have a mortgage like you or me or anybody else would. There's no difference there. The transportation problems were kindly helped with initially by Fords, and thereafter they supplied the transit van, but that was purchased. Again, at a reduced discount, which was negotiated, but they actually had to purchase this particular vehicle. In reality, they've actually had nothing for nothing.
We had one occasion right at the very beginning where there was a major chain of baby stores throughout the country that wanted to supply or give as a gift some gift vouchers. Very generous of them, but they wanted to do it on television 3 days after the birth. It was a situation where we had to move rather quickly to stop that happening, because it wasn't fair, it wasn't equitable, and there would have been some sort of indelible association between that particular company and the family for a long time to come.
So now, when the Waltons go shopping, they have no commercial ties at all. They can shop where they like, they can buy any brand of washing powder they like. And most important of all, they can walk down the street without crowds following them or photographers snapping. Of course, their shopping bill does tend to be bigger than most.
The grocery shopping bill is about £80 a week. Obviously, I've got to go weekly because we haven't got room to stock up anymore. It's things like cereals in big packets that take up all the space. But I go every Monday, and sometimes I take one of the girls with me, which is experience for them as well. Milk, we have delivered, which is fortunate because they're on 10 pints a day. It's about £20 a week.
So the shopping sprees are done as far as possible on your own without the girls, are they?
Yeah, they are. Now and again we'll take some of the girls, or perhaps all of them. We don't think it's fair for them not to go, because naturally most children go shopping with their parents.
The 6 Walton sisters look as happy and contented as any healthy 2-year-olds. But what sort of life can they look forward to? They are, after all, a unique family. They are not, however, the only little girls to have hit the headlines. 35 years ago, the Cole quads were equally sensational. In 1950, quads were a comparative rarity. But the Coles weren't as lucky as the Waltons. Their father had to work long hours and extra night shifts in order to make ends meet. The press took photographs. They were even featured with the Beatles, but it didn't provide their income, and they received only a small amount of sponsorship from a baby food company. Because they were identical, they made very good pictures for the newspapers, and they also made a very tight-knit group of sisters. Today they're happy, bouncing, married 35-year-olds: Edna, Patsy, Frances, and Mari.
We were more of a group. Yes. We preferred our own company. We still do now. We got on so well together. Why did we need anybody else?
We did have outside friends, and those friends were friends with all of us.
I think they understood as well that they were sharing friendship within the group, as you know, 4 sisters. And if they wanted to befriend one to myself, then she'd have to be friendly with Mari, Frances, and Edna. Right. If she didn't fit.
Someone who knows all about multiple births and the problems they bring is Dr. Elizabeth Bryan. She's a paediatrician and the consultant to the Twins and Multiple Births Association.
Well, I think always when you have a number of children together, from twins upwards, the question of individuality is always something that has to be carefully thought about, and parents have to be very careful that not only they think of the children as individuals, but that they make sure that friends and particularly relatives don't just think of them as a unit. Grandparents find this particularly difficult, to remember each one of them separately, because people love to think of them as special and as units, and they call them the triplets, the quads, the sextuplets, when in fact they should be calling them by their names.
In Canada in the 1930s, 5 little girls took the world by storm. The Dion twins.
May the 28th, 1936, and the most famous little girls in the world are putting party frocks on for their 2nd birthday. These days they feel grown up enough to help dress themselves, but it's a pity they can't read the thousands of greetings that have come to them from all over the world. And now the party's on, with 5 little birthday cakes as the big thrill for 5 little girls.
The Dions were the world's most famous babies and a major tourist attraction in Canada. They appeared in newsreels and in advertisements across the world, and by the age of 6 had nearly $1 million in their bank account. They were also destined to live in a specially made goldfish bowl for the first 9 years of their lives.
A continuous stream of visitors calls to see the quintuplets, who hang out the welcome sign and the washing. It's always Monday in the Dion nursery. And still they come from all over Canada and USA to gaze through glass screens at the world's most famous 5 of a kind. These little girls, despite their fame and fortune, are quite normal youngsters. They are Emile, Annette, Yvonne, Cecile, and Marie. But don't expect me to point out each one. They're too much like peas in a pod. They're doing their bit in the war effort, too, for they're attracting dollars from the States to Canada.
What about problems in the future? They're very self-reliant, aren't they? A group of people who need no one else at the moment apart from you. What about when they go to school and other children?
Well, we do mix them with other children now. I go to a mother and toddler group with 2 of them on an afternoon so that they can mix. And of course our friends have got children and relations, and we do mix them with other children because we don't want them to be just the Waltons. We want to be ordinary.
It's essential that they're individuals, really. This is why we really dislike the term sextuplets. You know, there's the sextuplets, because we find that wrong, really, because they're all individuals. They're all separate.
How different are they?
Well, in particular, Hannah. Hannah's very sort of highly strung, quick temper, and she was, at birth, she was crying quite a lot, but she's the one that will cry very easily now, you know. Lucy is full of fun, full of mischief, always up to mischief all the time, you know. Sarah's, she's only quite tiny, really, and she's very lovable, and she's quick to cry, but quick to laugh again, you know. Where are we up to? Sarah, Kate, you know, we're up to Kate. Kate's number 4, that's right. Well, Kate is a very, very good girl at the moment. She's smashing. No problem with Kate at all. And she's got a twinkling eye for the mischief, but she's a good girl at the moment, you know. Hannah, Lucy, Ruth, Sarah, Kate, Jenny, we're up to. Jenny is really, really lovable. She's a lovely girl. At the moment, she's a little bit bigger than the others, which she was at birth. She's very, very lovable, and she's always ready to give you a cuddle, you know. And Ruth is a scream, you know. She's really funny. She's a funny girl all the time. And she's very lovable as well, you know.
So you've got a full spectrum of human nature there, haven't you?
I think we have, yeah.
It seems that the Mr. and Mrs. Walton have been remarkable in the way that they have managed to treat each child individually and to have a very happy relationship with each one. But it is a problem that many mothers find of relating and indeed learning to love several children at the same time, and particularly if they have some difficulty in distinguishing which is which, and of course that happens particularly with identical twins.
We had our own colours when we were born, so consequently Mum and Dad used to dress us in those colours. They didn't have names for us. They just tied these colour ribbons on the cot so they could identify who'd been fed and who'd been changed. Patsy's was yellow, Edna was blue, Frances was red, mine was green.
Our last birthday, we were 35, and Dad sent us all birthday cards with our own individual colours. Mine was a yellow to dear daughter, yours were blue, yes. Frances red, was it pink, and Maury green.
According to the experts, Janet and Graham Walton are playing it just about right. They do genuinely believe in treating the 6 girls as individuals. They don't make them dress alike, and they try as much as possible to let them lead straightforward, ordinary lives, just like any 2-year-olds. But if there's one tip the Walton girls can certainly take from the Coles quads, it's how to handle their boyfriends.
If we wanted to get rid of one of our boyfriends and we're a bit sort of cowed to do it, we'd say, come on Patsy, you talk to him tonight, tell him I don't want to see him. And you'd quite believe Patsy. You'd think he was talking to me and say, okay, that was it.
In about 14 years' time, the boys of Liverpool are going to have to brace themselves when the Waltons go on the town. For the time being, the girls' idea of a good time is a trip to feed the ducks in the local park.
Come on, Daddy, try a bit.
Right, you ready? Yeah. Let's go then. Off you go. To the park.
And after a day out, there's nothing like a nice hot bath. And there's nothing like bath time at the Waltons.
Hands up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, the top. Oh.
Hey, beep, beep. Let's clean your teeth then. Let's get them. Do you get those toothbrushes, Jenny? Right.
All 6 of them can't fit in at once, so there has to be a shift system.
Have this. Daddy, have it. For Ruthie. Make room for Ruthie.
Here we are. Clean your teeth, Ruth.
What about their own training? Are they all potty trained?
No.
What stage have you got to?
We've got the potties.
We've had some near misses. Put it that way. No, we have the potties out, and sometimes they ask to sit on them. They know what they're for. And they've had a couple of good tries, but nothing properly yet, you know.
Principal nappy changer is Graham. 2 years after the birth, he is still a full-time father, a far cry from his former trade of painter and decorator.
Was it a difficult decision for Graham to stay at home full-time?
Yes, it was really. Obviously, we didn't really know what the future held, and so we had thought, with me being in hospital for so long, he was working sort of on and off anyway because of all the visiting. And so there was no other way than him to stay off when we first got the babies home. But he did intend, in fact, he did go back to work, but it didn't really work out. We were all trying to do too much. We didn't really need nursery staff, we needed just an extra pair of hands. And it was much nicer for Gray to be at home as part of a family so that we could cope together.
You weren't apprehensive about having a man about the house, under your feet?
Yes, I was, because we didn't really know how it was going to work out. We imagined that we would get on each other's nerves a lot, which, I mean, sometimes we do, but not half as much as we expected.
How does he rate in a score of 10?
10.5.
Graham gets his reward every other Saturday when Liverpool play at home. He's a fanatical supporter. He's only missed one home match, and that was the day after the babies were born.
Do you worry, though, about losing your role as breadwinner?
No, not really. No. I think that idea is probably, as far as I can see, a bit outdated, you know.
I mean, a man is entitled to do his share of the domestic scene as his wife?
I believe so. The children belong to the both of them, and they've come about because of the both of them. I think it should be equal roles if possible. It's not always possible, but that's the way I believe it should be.
What do your pals think about the situation?
Well, I get a bit of ribbing now and again, but it's all nice. There's nothing serious about it, you know. It's the old, you know, Mrs. Walton thing and all that business, you know. But it's all a good laugh, and there's no malice there at all.
I suppose you are really keeping up your trade day to day in the home?
More or less, yeah. I mean, there's always something to do here, you know. There's always a wall to paint that's been craned on, you know, things like that. But I work for myself anyway, so I have to keep the trade going because eventually, obviously, I will go back to it, you know.
Do you keep tabs on the things that you do in the home to tell the children about when they're older, like all the nappy changing you've done?
Well, not really, no, but it's always there in my mind because that's one of the main jobs that I'm doing, so it's there. I will remind them when they get old enough.
So what's the score?
Well, I don't really know, but if you work it out, possibly around about 30 a day, nappies, so between me and Jan, that's 15 each. Work it out from there, 2-year-old. How many days is that?
I mean, that's about 10,000 each.
Is it? Well, that's a lot when you say it like that, isn't it? That's magnificent.
Well, congratulations, Jan.
Thank you very much. It's a lot of nappies. Perhaps it'll be a record, do you think? Guinness Book of Records next year, you never know.
It's only nappy love. That's what I give to you. It's nappy love. Yeah, yeah. Although we're only two, I need you and I want you with all my nappy love. My nappy love. She is a queen in plastic panties. Yeah, panties. My baby doll that I adore. Tell me more. I knew I'd really pleased her that moment when I squeezed her and she went wee-wee on the floor.
Saturday is also the day when Graham emerges from beneath his pile of nappies and surfaces in a local Liverpool pub. He still keeps in contact with most of his friends, though now he doesn't see them nearly as much as he used to.
Obviously, since the babies have been born, we don't see Graham and Janice as much as we used to. Quite often used to go out in a foursome, but nowadays we see them, well, very infrequently compared to how we used to see them. Both him and Janice are very down-to-earth people, and they've handled it exceptionally well, I think. And about the only way I'd say Graham has changed is he's more relaxed in front of cameras.
good people, they're good friends, very good friends, and nobody could ever have, no 6 children of that age could ever have better parents. They're fantastic. They are fantastic parents.
Oh, fantastic, really happy, contented family. They're hectic. They're smashing.
Has the last 2 years been entirely joy? There must have been high spots and low spots.
Well, of course there has. I mean, the high spots are that we've got 6 lovely, fit, healthy girls, and most of the time they're very, very good. But of course everyone hits low spots when they've got children. I mean, it's horrible. It's absolutely awful when 6 of them are all screaming at once and you're only here on your own and you've got to get the tea ready and you've got to do so many things. I mean, you do have bad days. We're not superhuman, you know. It's very, very hard work, and sometimes it gets too much.
Do you find, Graham, that the screaming affects you more?
Not so much the screaming. I think the worst part is when they're not very well, when they've got silly little things like colds, and you know yourself, children, when they've got colds are quite naggy, and they want a lot of attention and a lot of comfort. And with 6, you can't give them all the same comfort, or the amount you'd want to at the same time.
In October, the Waltons had a crisis. Lucy, accident-prone Lucy, the one who cried a lot and kept running away at Patrick Lichfield's, suddenly broke out in spots.
The doctor said it was German measles, but we don't know whether to hope that they all get it over with, or let them have it one at a time so that we can cope with it better.
Has she been very miserable then?
Yes, very naggy. Of course, all they want to do when they're not well is sit on your mum's knee. You can't do that for 6.
Luckily for Janet, the others didn't catch the bug, and Lucy soon recovered.
Are there any areas where you do have a fundamental disagreement about bringing up the girls?
No, not really. We've sort of done everything together. I mean, I didn't know a lot about it to begin with, and nor did Graham, so we've pulled everything through and discussed everything and gone along together, really, with most things.
So you've got a house full of 6 children. What's the most adults you have here at any one time?
Usually only 3 or 4, really. When the girls were younger, when we needed the buggies to go out, we needed 3, obviously, to go out for a walk because we've got 3 double buggies. And so, really, more than 3, people are just getting in the way.
But the happiest situation for you is this you and Graham and the girls?
Most of the time, yeah.
Do you look forward to the time when Graham goes off to work like other men do in the morning and just comes home at night?
Well, obviously, you can't stay off work forever, and so it'll probably be very difficult at first, and obviously I'll miss the company, but we'll just have to see how it works out.
2 people who've made themselves indispensable are, of course, the grannies. They must be the most hard-worked grannies in the world. Graham's mum is Betty Walton, and Janet's is Nancy Ledbetter. Together, they have a tough assignment. They act as first reserves to the full-time team looking after the children.
Mothers-in-law can be wonderful or monsters. How have you got on?
Marvellously. I did get on well before anyway, and she's already got 7 grandchildren, so she's come a great help. We haven't had any interfering, just helping, which has been great.
Janet says your mother's been terrific. How's her mother been?
Nancy. She's been the same. She's been fabulous. So all the family have been great. But in particular, I think the 2 mothers, and the 2 grandparents as it was, Nancy and Betty have been great. Fabulous.
Well, I thought he was a very nice boy. Janet met him in the Isle of Man, and she came home from holiday and she said, I met this marvellous boy.
But as Janet and Graham have said they would rather have 1 pair of extra hands than 2, how do the grannies split their time?
Nancy works, so when Nancy doesn't come, I come. So we like to think that there's 3 of us here most of the time, as much as we can. So we do share it quite nicely.
Oh yes, very well, really.
All 4 grandparents have been absolutely marvellous. We expected them to because we're all a big happy family, really. But they are very, very good indeed. My parents work full time, and so they come when they can, when they're off. But Gray's mum and dad are retired, and they live closer, so we see a bit more of them, really.
Do they do the dirty jobs as well?
Everything. If you come here, you've got to work, really.
But for a hard-working granny, there are compensations, like a trip to Chester Zoo.
Someone told me it's all happening at the zoo. do believe it. I do believe it's true. It's a light and tumble journey from the east side to the park. Just a fine and fancy ramble to the zoo. But you can take a crosstown bus if it's raining or it's cold, and the animals will love it if you do.
Eat this for the elephant. Mummy will show you how to give him a banana, hey? Say, here we are. Say, here you are, Judy. Look, Mummy will show you. There we go. Oh. Want to give it to him, Ruth? Yeah. Here we are. That's it. Do you want to give him one, Sarah? That's it. Did you say thank you?
Zebras are reactionaries, antelopes are missionaries, pigeons plot in secrecy, and hamsters turn on frequently. What a gas you got to come and see at the zoo, at the zoo, at the zoo, at the zoo, at the zoo.
Oh, yeah.
From 6 o'clock, there was only one thing on Janet and Graham's mind: how to get the children to bed as peacefully as possible.
Look at Jenny. Look what Jenny's done. You be careful, won't you? You won't fall, will you? Oh, you're stuck.
Oh, that's it if you're stuck. Alright, yeah. I'll get you down, hold on.
Oh, look at Jenny. Here we go, ready. Where's your sled? There. Oh, very easy.
Off you go.
Oh, Ruth.
Mum and Dad have found a novel way of smoothing the path to slumber. Before they're finally tucked in, the girls are given a nightcap and they talk about their day.
If you had chocolate. Mummy! Did you have chocolate? Yeah.
Come on. All right. What's happening, Jenny?
Mummy.
Come on. Without me, see. Without you, do. Good girl. No. See you soon.
If we're lucky, they'll go to bed about 6:30, 7:15. So then it's a case of cleaning up after them, you know, washing all the pots and what have you, and having our meal. So it's normally, by the time we sit down, about 8:30, 9 o'clock, you know.
So you try to get to bed about 9:30, do you?
Well, we should do really, but you feel as if it's all bed and work if you go to bed early, so we're usually pretty late by the time we get to bed.
So what do you do in the evenings?
Watch telly, write letters, read.
Must have a lot of letters to write.
Yeah, phone calls, yeah. Everyone that knows us knows that that's the time that we're okay to talk, and so usually the phones never stops.
How do you organise holidays?
We don't.
We're going to start next year, I think.
Yeah. We thought last summer that they were a bit too young to take away. Six kiddies that age. Next summer will be a different thing, and we're thinking about next summer now. Not too far away, but perhaps a couple of cottages or something in Wales.
You'll cater for yourself?
Yeah, I think we'll probably go as a family en masse, and perhaps with Gray's brother, sister, and their children, because of course all the children, cousins, are very close. I think we'll probably go to, as Gray says, a couple of cottages somewhere in Wales, perhaps, where we can all help
Harley
each other.
Castle.
And now, of course, you're having to brace yourselves for the terrible twos, those infamous tantrums.
Everybody keeps saying that.
I think they started.
Yeah, it's notorious, isn't it, the terrible twos? And yeah, I think they have started because the last few weeks they've been in a little bit. But there again, they've had colds, so perhaps we put it down to that. But it might be the start of the terrible twos.
But you can handle it?
Well, I think the only thing to think of is that the terrible twos don't last forever.
No, just till the 3. That's not bad.
There we are, Dan. Now, Dan. Hello, love. And what's your name? Hey?
Hello, Father.
That's all right.
Look, come on.
Yes, and who have we got here?
This is Lucy.
Lucy.
And Sarah.
And Sarah. Aren't they lovely, eh? They're all going to be good for Christmas, aren't they?
I think so.
Of course you
Ruth,
are.
are you going to Christmas
We'll have some lovely toys for you, won't we? And some surprises. Bye-bye now.
Right. Yeah, look at that, it's lovely.
What about presents for the children? Do you give exactly the same to each girl?
Sometimes they haven't all the same. They do like presents the same, and they do fight a lot over the toys, but we sort of buy similar things.
What are you thinking so far? Rubbish.
And after the presents are wrapped and the children are soundly asleep in the care of one or other grandparent, a chance for Janet and Graham to relax with a quiet, candlelit dinner for 2. Most couples want children. You desperately wanted them. You had them in abundance. Has it had the effect of bringing you closer, or do you feel occasionally a strain between your own personalities?
No, there hasn't been a strain at all. I think we were close before. I think really whatever would have happened, we were that kind of people. So I wouldn't say that it's brought us closer together. We're just as happy as we were before.
Would you endorse that, Graham?
I would, yes, wholeheartedly, yeah. Everything is just as good as it was before we had any children at all.
Of course, the time will come fairly soon when the house will be a lot quieter because nursery school is coming up soon.
Yes, the girls should be starting playgroup in January for 1 morning a week.
That'll be a sad day, won't it?
Sad in some ways, yes, but it means that they're growing up, and it'll be nice to see them going off.
Wherever they go, whatever they do in the years to come, one thing is certain. The Walton girls have had the best possible start in life, and the great good fortune of belonging to a close and secure family. What more could 6 little girls possibly want?